CBS 42 is your local election headquarters. Alabama's primary is March 5th, and one of the seats on the ballot is for the 6th Congressional District. Republican incumbent Gary Palmer has two GOP challengers for his seat, which represents parts of Jefferson County and all of Shelby, Bibb, Chilton, Coosa, Elmore, and Autauga counties. And Congressman Palmer joins us this morning. Good to see you, sir.
And a little bit of Talladega County.
Getting a little bit of Talladega in there, too.
Bit, but not the racetrack.
It's changed just a bit. The two people challenging you both, I've talked to them, and they both bring up the fact that originally you said you would serve 5 terms. Now you're running for your 6th term. That seems to be at the top of the list of things that they ding you for. And your response to that?
Well, first of all, I did say I'd only serve 5 terms, and so I own that. But circumstances have changed. It's the old saying, if I'd known then what I know now. But we're in a situation where there are things that I think I can get done that haven't gotten done yet. I believe that Donald Trump's going to be elected president. I think we've got an excellent shot of holding the majority in the House and getting the majority in the Senate. And I think we've got about a 20-month window to really do some things that fundamentally change the course of the country, particularly on the financial side and on the border side. And I'm advising the Trump campaign on some key issues, energy and critical minerals, and a Western Hemisphere alliance involving Latin America. So I feel like I need to go back. It was not an easy decision to do that because I knew how people would respond to me saying I'd only serve 5 terms, and I knew I'd get primaried over it, but I felt like it was the right thing to do, and that's why I did it.
When you look at what you want to get accomplished, would it take Trump in the White House and taking control of the Senate and the House?
Absolutely. If we had the majority in the House and Senate, we'll pass some very definitive bills for getting us back on the right track. But if we don't have a Republican in the White House to sign them, it's all for naught. And I think Donald Trump is maybe the only person I've ever been around, and I've been in public policy running a think tank and then in my 5th term in Congress, 9 years in Congress. He may be the only one who really will do the things that need to be done. And I think on day one, he will start securing our borders, both of them. He will have the Remain in Mexico policy reinstated. Section 42, which deals with the health issues. We've got people crossing the border, Ani, that have diseases we haven't seen here in 60 years. So I think he will do those things, and I also think he'll take initiative on the energy and critical minerals, which have now become a national security issue for us. We're almost 100% reliant on foreign sources for critical minerals and rare earths, and probably 80% of that's China. And if we got into a serious confrontation with China, we'd really be in a bad place, because you have to have those to make your microchips, your semiconductors. A lot of the war materials that we use rely on them. And it would take us years to get a mine open and get refineries. I've been meeting with ambassadors from all over South and Central America and Europe, for that matter, and even Central Asia. These people are beginning to realize that China's not their friend, and putting together a framework for private investment, not foreign aid, not more taxpayer dollars, but working with these governments to build out their energy infrastructure so they can create a manufacturing base and a middle class.
Much more to talk about, but we've run out of time. Gary Palmer running again for 6th Congressional District. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Happy to do it.
New this morning.